Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Brownsville Matters. We have with us this morning Veronica Martinez, who is the marketing director for Sunrise Mall and Mall del Norte in Laredo. Welcome, Veronica. Glad to have you this morning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Strong. Good to be here.
So you go to Laredo a lot?
Every once in a while.
That's a lot to handle. Two properties. Was that about 150 miles away, Laredo, something like that?
Not as often. You know, everything we do is a lot of it through Teams and phone calls, and we now have somebody boots on the ground in my department there, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, we've got a great team over there that does a lot.
I've always wanted to talk to someone. I know this isn't your territory per se, but and I hope one day to get the guy from Cinemark, because I was real curious as to how they negotiated the COVID problem at that facility in particular. I know the mall had its own challenges. I was certainly there during COVID, and it was a ghost mall often in the early days, but also had kind of the joy, you might say. It was the silver lining of COVID. I would go to the Cinemark and get private showings all the time. There was, two of us in the whole theater.
Right.
So, and I also worried. I said, my God, they're going to go out of business. They can't keep this up, So I know the mall during that time had challenges. Can you talk about that? What you went through?
That was prior to my arrival.
Oh, but so, I'm sure you know.
Yes, but yes, definitely it was a challenging time, and I think post-COVID now, people want to come together. There's a lot of interest in community, building community. And so the mall has really become an important venue again for community to happen. I think that also we are kind of in an industry that's has had to kind of reimagine itself and reinvent itself.
Yeah, a lot of malls across the country are kind of collapsing in a way, right? And but you seem very healthy here.
Yes, we are, and we get that comment a lot. We get a lot of winter visitors, especially, that will bring that to our attention, that they see the vibrancy of the center.
So what are you doing differently?
I think a lot of it has to do with the unique area that we're in, right? We're so close to Mexico, and we do draw from the interior of Mexico, but also, the uniqueness of Brownsville, South Padre Island, and now with all the development of new industries in the area, I think that's brought a lot of newcomers to the area, and as I mentioned, the just that sense of wanting to build community that people have. I think the mall has become a space for that to happen. And we're trying. We just completed a collaboration, or are about to start a collaboration with Valley Regional Medical Center to do a wellness program at the mall, and inviting folks that already come to the mall to walk.
The walkers.
The walkers, yeah. And now we have walkers of all ages.
I've always wondered, is that good for business? These people come in, and they come in at 7 in the morning, and they walk their 5 miles. And do they stay around and spend money, or do they just come and walk?
For sure. I think, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, but I think it's allowing that space for people. It's kind of meeting them where they're at. And then hopefully they will come back and consume later in the morning. But having that opportunity where we can collaborate with the hospital and bring in doctors to do monthly doc talks and weekly exercise classes. We're fixing to launch that, but there's going to be
that's great,
like Tai Chi in the food court, line dancing.
Oh,
so we're excited about that.
Line dancing in the food court.
Line dancing in the food court, yeah. So we're excited about that program,
great.
And that again is just one of the ways that we're trying to, build community and just reimagine what a shopping center could be.
I've done the route where I've been into the mall to, I usually go to the university gym, but if I'm trying to get in my 6,000 steps a day or whatever, and I'm at the mall, I say, well, I'll just walk around the mall. And what is it, a mile around the perimeter?
It's shy of a mile, yeah. And we just installed mile markers. So if you were to start at Cinemark.
There's mile markers. How interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's shy of a mile, but at least it gives you an indication of, how much you've
Was it like 9/10, or do you know?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Does that mean if you do all the little corridors, you walk up the corridor and around by the bank and by
you'd have to follow
Luby's,
the whole edge.
follow that, right?
Yeah, all around. Yeah.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Again, that was kind of a part of the collaboration with Valley Regional that we have going. So we're excited to kick off that program.
A lot of malls around the country have had problems because they've lost their anchor stores. And those anchor stores have been, in some cases, replaced by Gold's Gym or gyms of various types. What are the other types of industries that are tending to come in, or businesses that are tending to come in and take those spaces?
So we have Main Event that took over that was the old Sears building.
Sears building, right.
So that has been a great addition to the center, also bringing kind of that entertainment.
Oh yeah, I've taken my daughter there. She loves it.
So for sure, and actually we also have Main Event at several of our other properties. So that's kind of a growing base for us as far as.
Oh, you have it in Laredo
options.
too?
Yes,
it's
we
in
do.
Laredo as well.
We do have it in Laredo as well. So it's trying to reimagine what shopping centers could be now with available space and vacancies and things like that. So. Main Event, we've got a gym also. It doesn't have an entrance into the mall, but we've got the True Fit, and then now with Bubba's 33, kind of in the parking lot area close to our outer ring road.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Whenever you have a business that is located in the parking lot, it takes up a lot of space in the parking lot. So how do you figure all that out to say, okay, that'll be worth it to us to take up 100 spaces for this business or whatever it would be? Yeah. I'm sure it's more than that. What's the trade-off? Obviously, more traffic in the region.
I can't speak to that. It wasn't part of that negotiation, but I'm sure that they, calculated all of that and factored that into their decision making.
Is that a big chain? I hadn't heard of them before.
Yes, Bubba's is owned by Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, really? Well, something I learned recently is Longhorn has, can you believe it, 563 Longhorn restaurants. I had no idea. 538 Longhorn restaurants in the U.S. Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought there were probably maybe, I don't know, I was thinking more like 100 maybe. And and then they have that company, I think it's Darden Restaurants. They have, I don't know.
A variety of different
8 or 9. Olive Garden is one of their properties. So, and their what is their hamburgers? A sports bar? What are they?
Yeah, they've got pizza, burgers, wings. They've got a variety of different food options, and of course, big screens everywhere, so you can catch any game.
A little bit of everything there.
Yeah.
When I first came to the Valley a long time ago, one of the things that I was surprised about was that. Because I had an ex-student who managed the Dillards over in McAllen at the mall. And he told me that, he said, we're the number one Dillards in the country. And the proximity to Mexico made a lot of the stores here and there, number one, number two, highly rated in terms of their gross business within the country, within the chain. And so I guess our anchor stores, except maybe for Sears, which had other problems, it wasn't a local issue; it was a national issue for that chain. But they all seem very healthy. Like Dillard's does very well. JCPenney, I think they always look busy.
Yes, they do well. And we've got a lot of stores that are top performers within their company. So I mean, it's the center is thriving. We've got a very unique food court. I've been to malls across the country, and I haven't seen any similar. And maybe I'm a little biased, but our food court is beautiful. We've got a huge stage and ample space.
Well, the carousel that you have there, it's funny because when my daughter was, it's not so much a problem now, although it could be. But when she was 5 and 6, sometimes I would go into the mall from a different door because I didn't want her to say, I have to ride on the carousel and you have to come with me.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's another unique element that Sunrise Mall has, is that Venetian carousel that,
it's been there a long time.
It's been there a long time, for sure. I believe since 2000 when the mall was redeveloped. But Yeah, it is a huge draw for young kids,
Yeah,
and I
sure.
can see that, trying to come in through another entrance.
Well, I think the older you get, the less you like spinning, and
Yes.
this huge
For
carousel
sure.
that spins you around. You feel a little dizzy afterwards, but
Definitely.
kids never tire of the teacup. It's actually double spinning. You
Right.
get the
Oh,
teacup
yes.
spinning on the spinner.
Yes.
But also the food court has a great diversity. You've got Italian, you have Asian foods, you have Chick-fil-A, you
Mexican
have
food now.
Mexican food, everything really that you could want there. Plus, you have the sit-down restaurant if you want that,
Luby's,
and
if you want.
it's busy.
Yes.
You have to go and sometimes wait a little bit for a table because it's crowded.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
you're right. It is a meeting place, and it may be partially. You might consider the idea that in the Hispanic world, there's a greater need for gathering. I would say, it's a collectivist culture, and the idea of gathering at the square, gathering at the town center and the mall, has over the years become that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And, getting ready for the holiday season now, of course, it definitely becomes a time for families to come together. And, we oftentimes for Black Friday have families that are visiting, right, from out of town. And so they'll all come out on Black Friday to do some shopping early morning as a family. And it's really nice to see that community spirit and families come together during the holidays.
Do you already have Christmas up?
We are working on it as we speak, so we should, by the end of the weekend, have everything up and ready. Santa arrives on the 22nd, so.
Well, thank you for waiting till after Halloween, because I was at Walmart over in Los Fresnos, and this was 2 weeks before Halloween, and Christmas was already up.
Yes.
I mean, not the trees, but all the accessories for Christmas were already up. And I think there should be a law that says you can't have Christmas up until after Halloween. Let's not get the get the holidays compressed upon each other like that.
I saw a meme that referred to this season as Hallow Thanksmas, because it's just that combination of all three all jumbled up. But yeah, no, we November 1 is our start date, and we're excited to bring on the holiday season. We've got lots of great happenings. So,
Well, you have a train, right, that goes around the mall? That's cool.
We do. We have a train, and it's actually close to where Santa's home will be for the holidays. So kids really enjoy coming to visit Santa, saying hello.
How many days is Santa here?
Santa will be here from November 22nd to December 24th, so a little over.
Oh, long time.
Yeah.
And so he's sitting on his Santa chair every day?
Every day.
For a few hours?
For a few hours. Well, yes, it'll be mostly from 11 a.m. to about 7 p.m. on weekdays, and then a little bit longer on the weekends. And we've got our hours for Santa. I'll post it on our website at sunrisemalltx.com, where folks can get more information. But
Say that again, slower?
sunrisemalltx.com.
.com. And that'll give you all the events that are happening and when they're happening, et cetera.
Yes, definitely when Santa arrives. And we're also going to be hosting pet photos with Santa.
Oh.
And yes, and believe it or not, it's a big celebration too for parents of furry friends to come out and capture those memories with their pets.
Do you have pee pads for the dogs while they're visiting Santa?
We don't, but we do ask pet owners to be responsible and pick up after their pets for sure. And this year, for the first time, we're opening that up to all day. So before it used to be a select few hours on Mondays, but now it's during the day on those select Mondays starting November 27th.
I'm trying to imagine the struggles of trying to get photographs with dogs and Santa. I mean, it's hard enough to get children to behave, and then you got dogs and look here.
Right. No, it is. It's fun to watch, and some pets are just a little too excited to be out.
Yeah.
And so
and then they're around other pets.
And being around other pets for sure. It's always interesting.
How did that come
watch.
about? I've never heard of that before. Just somewhere in the country, someone did it and said, "Well, that's a big success."
Yes, for sure. I mean, we've had it for many years, as I understand. And I think that's another post-COVID thing too,
Really?
where it's, I don't remember what the statistics was, but more pet owners now and more pet-friendly opportunities. So yeah, this is just one of those occasions that we've always had where we invite pet owners and their pets to come for photos with Santa. We do it during Easter also. We do Easter bunny photos with pets also. So
I did not know. I did not know that. I'll have to bring my dog.
yes, that would be nice. That would be nice.
When I was raising my boys, they always, well, like all little kids, they're attracted to the idea, but sometimes they're starstruck and they're afraid at the same time. There's the Easter Bunny, how exciting, but no, I can't go near. That'll. You don't know why they're so afraid, but it's they're kind of paralyzed by celebrity a little bit, I guess.
That's a good way of putting it.
It's
Yeah,
fun to watch them.
sure.
Let me see where it's going. Oh, I wanted to ask about the new stores coming. You have an opening very soon.
Yes, we do. Actually, Bath and Body Works has relocated to a larger space, and they're opening on Saturday. It's going to be close to Pandora, and we're inviting shoppers to come out and check out their new location. They've got obviously a larger selection of merchandise to offer in this space, and they're having their wallflower event, which is a big deal on Saturday. So
what is that?
Well, it's a big promotion that they have on
okay.
their wallflowers, and so it's this Saturday at 11 a.m. And they're also doing like a grand opening for their new location, but larger store, more product. I took a peek in a couple days ago, and it's looking really nice. So we've got Bath and Body Works, and then also Box Lunch, which has kind of some pop culture collectible type merchandise. They're scheduled to open later this month also. So those two new openings are just great additions to the center, again, kind of on that subject of vibrancy and new developments and new opportunities.
Who would you like to get?
Oh, gosh. There's several on my wish list. I don't know. We always discuss those ideas with our leasing manager, and just excited when we have these opportunities to see our own tenants grow and expand.
Sure.
Obviously, they're performing well, right? To be able to expand into a larger space. But
your wish list.
My wish list
like
would
a
be,
Macy's or
I'd have to say, yeah, definitely like a grocery chain would be nice. A specialty grocery item chain.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Yeah. Kind of something along those lines that would cater to, just
like Whole Foods or something like that.
Something like that would be nice.
I think they have that in Austin, don't they? Have some version of that in some of their malls?
Probably so. I haven't been in such a long time, but yeah, I think that would be something unique.
Yeah. What is that other one? You got Whole Foods, and there's another I'm trying to think of that's a high-end grocery store where people will joke that you only need to go there once a year because their items are so rare that you rarely need them, and they cost so much. But,
yeah, I'm not sure, but there's several. There's, let's see, Sprouts, which is in McAllen, and then there's Trader Joe's.
I think that's what I'm thinking of, Trader
okay.
Joe's. Yeah. I miss the bookstore. We had Walden Books long ago, and I'm grateful that we have a store that opened, a bookstore downtown.
Downtown, right?
And that's a magnificent entrepreneurial effort, and
definitely,
I'm doing all I can to support them.
For sure.
It would be nice also to have a northern bookstore as well as a southern bookstore.
Yeah.
So something like, Barnes & Noble, of course, would be great.
Yeah.
But I know it based upon the market, and I guess they always assess the reading public, how many people read, how many books can be sold. There's a reality there. And
Sure.
But they say that nationwide, the prediction that bookstores would die as a group is not has not turned out to be true. That many have survived, especially independent bookstores have done well, half-price books and stuff like that.
Sure.
So why don't you get a half-price book just for me? Okay,
I'll bring that up.
I'll be there all the time. All right.
Yes, definitely. I'll throw that in on our next leasing call.
The bookstores often complain that their struggle is free readers. You know, that people come in and they just read, and they have their coffee and they don't buy. Just free readers. The way you remember when 7-Elevens and places like that used to have their magazine racks out where anybody could read, and they had that complaint that people were just reading magazines for free and put them back,
Right,
and walk out. So they put it behind the counter so you couldn't be a free reader.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, whatever unique opportunities that may come up, we always entertain those considerations and share that with our leasing department. They're always open to hearing our wish lists.
Some of the other things I've seen at malls around the country that were a little bit of a surprise is like one of those ER facilities. Not exactly what do they call it? Emergency medicine, not really emergency room.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and so that's a popular one. And some universities and colleges have facilities for offering classes that are because there's no parking problem generally. Universities always have the parking problem.
That's true.
And when the university here purchased the old Amigoland Mall, that was one of the things that was attractive, is that there was plenty of parking, right? And plenty of space for development, and it has turned out to be that way. The building trades, auto mechanics, and things that TSC runs there, it's great. I do remember being in on those conversations early on where we were excited because we said, my God, look, Dillard's, we get this whole space of 100,000 square feet, and we can make a gym. 2 stories.
Wow.
And so there was a lot of excitement over so much space and what could be done with that space. So that was a fun time.
That's great. Yeah.
I just am somewhat amused that we 20 years ago we went to a lot of trouble. I say we, the people doing it, named it the International Technology Engineering and Communications Center or something, ITEC. ITEC. But now 20 years later, everybody still calls it Amigoland Mall. It's how hard it is to brand something, right?
It's so true.
To rebrand.
Yeah, for sure.
How long have you been in Brownsville?
Oh, in Brownsville for over, 30 years.
So, but you didn't
grew up here.
You grew up
I
here,
grew up here.
From what part of town was?
I grew up sort of behind our neighborhood was right behind the IBC main bank, kind of that area. But our family moved here from Chicago in I guess it was the late 80s. And we loved it. It was a change in weather for us,
Oh, yeah.
Didn't have to deal with the cold winters, the harsh winters.
But you got plenty of wind here as well as there, right?
Yes, definitely. But having that proximity to the island and Mexico and visiting family in the interior of Mexico made it a great transition for us.
I bring it up because you've seen enormous changes in that time.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody here that I interview, they always, generally when I ask them about the changes they've seen, they say, the Sunrise Mall used to be the northern boundary of the community. And then beyond that, it was fields.
Fields, right.
Just agricultural fields. Yeah. And now it goes, on and on. And the building, even today, you can see it's 3 miles beyond the mall along the expressway, and it continues. And so what have you seen? What stands out to you in your time?
It's just, all the development on the north end, it's also seeing, we've also gotten a lot of traffic flow from the Mid-Valley even. At Sunrise Mall, we have shoppers that we attract from all areas, Raymondville, Harlingen, San Benito. So it's nice to see our community drawing from other areas also. Definitely the vibrancy of Brownsville in terms of the downtown area also has been really nice to see. And, on the north end, of course, where Sunrise Mall is at and everything beyond that, the continued growth in that area has been something to be proud of, seeing the community come together and build these collaborative efforts for different things. And it's just an exciting time, I feel, to be in this community with all the growth and development that's happening with new industries coming to the area.
Well, as one who's been in development within a mall and a region of the city, what would you personally like to see for this region as a whole or the city as a whole? What, as one who's kind of studied development in your profession, what's missing within this community that you say, this would be good for us?
I'm always thinking of entertainment, feeling that there's definitely potential for more entertainment venues and options, so that we don't have to travel so far to go to a concert or, special event like that. I think that would be nice if I had a wish list for what would be great for Brownsville.
So you mean we need a venue that can attract those sorts of events?
Yeah, that would be nice. I think, a large venue for concerts.
For concerts, yes.
That would be nice. But again, just, going back on the subject of being proud of the community for also, collaborating and also being, folks really want to invest and spend here locally and support the local economy. And that's very helpful for all the local businesses, right? Whether they're national tenants or the small mom and pop shops throughout the area. The pride that people take in really wanting to spend locally and support local is great. It's great to see.
I was surprised in talking to a person who knows these things, how much money the birders bring in, the people who come in all year round, the birding enthusiasts who come and stay, sometimes a couple of weeks just to fill out their bird book.
Definitely, yes.
I don't know what they call that, but I know birders have a book where they check off, that they have seen this one and seen that one, and the blue warbler or whatever exotic bird they're looking for, and evidently they can get a lot of checkoffs here
in this area,
in this region.
For sure. I've heard that too. Yeah, visiting the World Birding Center is a great thing. We try to do those visits every so often with the kids, just to kind of give them that opportunity to see all the, like you said, the many birds and options that folks have. But I was not aware too much of that whole.
I think for those of us who've lived here a long time and are not part of that, it's kind of an invisible world, and we don't realize how significant it is and what type of gravity it has within our world.
Definitely.
And I guess some of us perhaps should buy into the magic and say, we're right here in the middle of this. Maybe we should learn about it.
Right, exactly.
Maybe I should catch the fever. At the university, I run into people from time to time who, they got their their giant photo. What do you call it? Photographic lenses, telephotographic lenses, and they're out taking pictures of birds along the Resacas, climbing back in those bushes to get that great shot.
That's so true. And sometimes they're in our backyard, and we don't really, browse to, admire
that's true.
The birds in our own backyard.
The other thing that I've heard about the mall, though, this is a negative, I suppose. No doubt it is that people will sometimes use the mall as a babysitter, that they'll drop their kids and go somewhere and say, "You kids have fun." And is that a problem?
It hasn't really been a problem. We do have our security. Trying to stay on top of things like that. And, we have police presence now with We have a cart in the middle of the common area close to Baca, where they've got a space there that they can stop in and catch up on some of the reporting that they're doing, or just having that presence regularly. And so, especially now as we're heading into the holiday season, is when we see them most coming out into the mall, and having that collaborative relationship with them has been very helpful for us also in trying to deter any sort of activity. Yeah.
Well, I don't think I'm referring to, juvenile delinquents that are, released them all, just kids that are maybe 10 or so that normally you would think would have a parent with them, but they feel like, the parents feel like, well, it's a safe environment for them.
Yeah.
They can go and walk and spend hours here and have fun, and we won't have to watch them, be with them all the time.
I'd have to say, growing up here, I think when I was an adolescent, there was more of that for sure, because I would get to do that sometimes. But nowadays, we don't see a whole lot of it. It could be mom is inside one of the shops and the kids are walking around for a bit, but normally to get dropped off, I haven't seen a whole lot of that.
Well, when I was a kid, probably as 6 years old, well, not 6, but at 6 years old, I was riding my bike to school.
Yeah.
When I was first grade, I was riding my bike to school.
Yeah.
And home afterwards. I was a mile away, but still, most people wouldn't dare do that now.
No. Yeah.
And then in the summers, 8, 9 years old, we were free-range kids. My mom would open the gate in the morning and say, "You go," and come back when the street lights come on.
Yeah, same here. We got to play in the backyard and ride our bikes around the neighborhood, and then as soon as 6 o'clock hit, it was time to head back home.
Yeah.
In Chicago, though, I also did have to go to school. It was a mile away, more or less, and we'd have to walk sometimes because the schools were kind of built around the neighborhoods or within the neighborhoods. So, being little and having to do that walk was nowadays no. I wouldn't let my kids do that.
So I think what happens is parents feel the mall is safe. That they say, I don't want them walking around the neighborhood, but in the mall. And same thing for the mall walkers. They're protected from traffic. They've got a protected territory.
Right.
Can't be hit by cars and air conditioned and heated. So it's and also even pavement.
Right, yeah.
Which is a very important thing for older people, that they can't, it's hard to trip or stumble.
Right. And then as we're heading into the winter season.
Oh, yes.
It's definitely an opportunity for them to get their daily exercise in.
And then after they're through with their walk, they can go over and get coffee and
pastries or
pastries
taco.
and undo all that they just did. They can do that.
Yep.
Now, you also have, I noticed that when I drive by the police towers that are in the parking lot, you've got a few of those, I think one on each side, where they...
yes, sometimes PD will set it up in different areas, right?
They move it around to watch for car theft and break-ins and that sort of thing. I remember reading once that if a department store, there's some experiments they've done to reduce shoplifting, for instance, and they said if they would just put a mannequin in a police uniform and just set it up as part of a display, that alone would reduce shoplifting because psychologically made people feel that, bad people feel that they're being watched.
Interesting.
Isn't that cool? Same way that some small communities will park a police car at the city limits with no policeman's in it. They just park the car. And that one thing will make a difference in speeding and other stuff.
Right.
Slow people down at no cost because there's no policeman assigned to that, just a car. So, pretty cool. Well, listen, thanks a lot for coming in. I appreciate you coming in and learning about this. And looks like you have a great Christmas season ahead.
Definitely, we do. We've got lots of great promotions coming up, and we definitely want to invite folks to visit us on our website at sunrisemalltx.com for more information. And also, if they're interested in a gift card giveaway that we're doing of $1,000 for the month of November, you just have to text the keyword, and see if I can pull it up here, then next couple
Keyword
of
is
seconds.
Santa.
The keyword is Dream 2023, and it's 956-587-5763. And that would be the opportunity to enter for a chance to win up to $1,500 in gift cards.
Oh, look,
for the
Gabriel's
month of
already doing
Already
it over
doing
here. He's already signed up. That's excellent. I'm supposing that, like most malls, Christmas is your busiest season without a doubt.
For sure, yes.
It's the only time I can remember going to the mall and I can't find a place to park.
Right. The closer you get to December 24th, for sure.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
So we definitely encourage shoppers to get in early on their holiday shopping.
And then you're closed on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
You're closed.
And Black Friday.
Except for, I guess, the movie theater, right?
Right.
Cinemark is,
Cinemark
I
is
think, open on that day. Big movie time for
Right.
go to the movies.
Exactly. Yeah. Lots of
Exciting
movies
time.
coming up.
Always enjoy the mall, and I enjoy the mall particularly around Christmas season because you go there and it's cool, and so it can get you in the Christmas spirit just by virtue of the temperature.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Enjoyed
Thank you,
seeing
Dr.
you.
Strong. Good to see you too. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching this BSPA video. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you really like what you see, go ahead and go to our website, brosoperformingarts.org, and smash the donate button. And then we'll really like you too.